Hi, this is Nicholas Yock, a registered education and migration agent from Pathway to Oz. Today, I'm going to discuss with you a situation that we've been commonly asked. What can I do if my passport has expired? Alright, so in order to travel internationally, apply for a new visa, or even use your passport as a valid form of ID, you need to have a valid passport, so your passport cannot have expired. In Australia, your passport is electronically linked to your visa, and if you have a new passport and your visa is still valid, you can simply update it electronically with immigration. Okay, so how do I update my passport? Well, look, if you currently have an valid Australian visa, if you're onshore or offshore and you get a new passport, you can update it electronically through your immigration portal. There's a separate video on this, so check it out. We'll put the link below. How do I obtain a new passport? So if you are currently in Australia and your passport has expired or even is about to expire, you should contact your home country embassy or consulate within Australia and find out the process. So each country has a different process of applying for a passport. With some countries, you might be able to do it online or through an online portal or something like that. With other countries, you might actually have to go in person to your embassy or to your consulate, which might be in a different city from you, and to apply for a passport there. All right, so how long does it take to apply for a new passport? Well, as you know, each country is different, so it's almost impossible to give an answer for that. Many countries, if your passport has expired and you desperately need to do something, will allow you to apply for or can give you what's called an emergency passport. This will allow you to bridge the time taken or apply for any visa if you absolutely need to really quickly. This can often just be a paper form stamped inside your passport, which gives you an extra year validity or something like that. Some countries that have the ability to process passports in their embassies or consulates in Australia can process a new passport within a week or two. Other countries that have limited resources and often can't process a passport within Australia, it might take several months. We would always recommend allowing at least 6 to 12 months to obtain a new passport, just in case something happens. All right, so my passport has expired and my visa is expiring. What should I do? Yikes, this is not a situation that you want to find yourself in. But recently, because of COVID, we have seen a lot of applicants, trying to get a new passport from their embassy, from their consulate, and just not being able to because they've been closed or there's been hold-ups, delays. Maybe your visa's expiring and it's a really bad situation to be in. So look, technically, you can't apply for a new visa with an invalid passport. You can't have a visa granted with an invalid passport. In certain times, like in these COVID times where it's absolutely outside of your control, immigration might be able to provide some leniency to you, but there's no guarantee. If you do believe that you cannot obtain a new passport before your current visa expires, we would recommend contacting immigration as far in advance as possible and sort of touching base and maybe seeing if they can do something for you. So if you do nothing and your passport expires, and your visa's expired, technically you become unlawful in Australia. Once you do receive a new passport, it's going to be difficult, or it potentially will be difficult to even apply for a new visa in Australia. So, you might be able to apply for a bridging visa E before you leave, but you'll find yourself with very limited future visa options. So always try to avoid becoming unlawful. So when should I apply for a new passport? Look, would recommend at least 6 to 12 months before your passport expires, just to give yourself enough time. It might take a lot less time than that, but you've saved yourself a headache if it doesn't. Do I have to have a certain amount of validity on my passport to apply for an Australian visa? Unlike a lot of other countries where you might need 6 months validity in your passport, Australia will often let you apply for most visas, even if you have a day left on your passport, as long as your passport's valid. Please note, if your passport does expire during the visa process, usually a decision cannot be made on the visa application until you get a new passport. If you do get a new passport, you can just simply update it with immigration. Look, so I hope you found this information helpful, and if you do find yourself in a tricky situation, feel free to obviously first contact immigration, but then feel free to contact Pathway to Oz and potentially book in for a consult and chat with one of our registered migration agents. Thank you.